council meeting is called to order at 6 p.m. Present are President Chris Vachon online, Councilmember Curtis, Councilmember Upper Chase, Treasurer Jim Johnson, other department heads here. We have the police chief and we have
Andrew Carbine.
I know your name.
Oh.
What's your title?
Firefighter.
Firefighter. I call you all captain, so I just see when I go like this. You're supposed to like cover me. You're not supposed to go. My name is Hitch. Thank you. Okay. Second item on the agenda: additions, deletions to the agenda. President Vachon.
No, thank you.
Councilmember Curtis.
No thanks.
Councilmember Upper Chase.
No, thank you.
Treasurer Johnson.
Not a thing.
Next item on the agenda, increase to the tax anticipation line of credit with an anticipated vote. I'm going to recognize the treasurer so he can bring us up to date, and then we will address that. And then after that, I also want to address the fact that we do need to focus again on the tax rates. So, but I want to focus right now on the tax anticipation line of credit.
Right, so I put in an application for another 800,000 to go with the 2 million we've got because we're still having a cash flow problem. Obviously, if we don't use it, we'll just turn it back in, but hopefully we'll have some tax money. Bills have all gone out, hopefully get some tax money coming in. We're still expecting a pilot payment from the state, which is probably be around 600,000, but I don't know when that's coming. Last year it came at the end of October. But you got to have money to operate until you get sufficient amount of taxes in to carry the state.
And you'll get information, people were gonna get me information on that so I can place some contact calls to see the status, but I just need the contact information on that.
So that's where we are.
Right, so, also the, as the treasurer said, he did mail out all of the tax payments. And usually those would usually come around November, by November you would anticipate November, December?
The end of October, 1st of November.
But I'm saying the latest, the revenue from these
From the
tax,
state?
from the tax bills.
No, well, by the 1st of November, we should be getting a pretty steady flow in there.
Right. So yeah, so that's what I'm saying, by November and December, you should have the revenue from this pretty much coming in, not counting what you're anticipating coming in from the state.
Right. By the 15th of November, we should have all in that we're gonna have.
Right. Okay, discussion?
I have a question.
Sure.
So, Jim, can you give us a close estimate of what the tax bills are? Like, what does it add up to that you're expecting by November 15th?
The tax will build up to 4,995,000 or something like that. We only get half of it in November.
I was just gonna say, so that's for the full year,
Right.
which means we're expecting somewhere in the neighborhood of 2.3, 2.4, except for slippage.
Yeah.
To be
Yeah,
conservative.
except for
and say
slippage, we
200.
should get 2.34, somewhere in there. Yeah. Of course, we also get the school money, but that's their money.
That's their money. But that's in addition to what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah. So we basically we'll collect about $5 million by the 15th of November, but I gotta send the schools 2.5 of it.
Yeah.
We're supposed to get 2.5 of it.
So the application that you filled in, the bank just needs the minutes that show the authorization from the
All we need
council.
is the minutes to show approval of that authorization and we're good to go.
What are we asking for?
800,000.
Did you pay some back, because we were at the old one?
We're at 2, we used the whole, we borrowed the whole 2 million already, but we need this to get us, so the tax revenue starts coming in. When it comes in, obviously we'll pay the bulk of it back.
Didn't we approve the 2 million with a caveat of 300,000 needed council approval, or am I mistaken?
Well, we approved
We did
1.7
approve
with a
that.
caveat of another 3
To make it 2 million.
to make it 2.
And you're asking for the 3
No, he's asking for 8.
Another 8.
Okay.
So the tax bills went out,
Yeah,
and the anticipated receipt of those tax revenues will not happen until November. So during this next 60 days, there, he needs the money to cover all the expenses.
and that, I'm sorry. go
No, it's okay. So in addition, we're anticipating, I think,
Should
$600,000.
be about 600,000 from the state for pilot payment.
Right, that we're entitled to, but that hasn't come in yet either. So what the treasurer is saying is, first thing that comes in will go towards paying down this 800,000.
So where are we at then?
We're at 2 million, we're capped at the 2 million, so the bank needs our approval to do this floating loan, this increase of this line of credit.
800,000 on top of the 2 million?
Correct,
Yeah.
that's what he's asking for.
Did we just get water and sewer income?
Yeah, that's all come in.
How much was that?
Oh, see, it usually average about 430, we got an extra 160, so it's about, maybe that's 175, 600,000.
It came in and it's gone?
Yeah. I know it's not a pleasant situation.
No, but it's nothing against you, but we're just getting worse and worse and worse and negative and negative.
Well, it's, I said the other day, if we don't, if council doesn't do something, it's just gonna
Right.
roll forward, and every time it rolls forward, it gets a little
Gets
bit worse.
worse.
Like the new two new fronts.
Because you're playing catch up. I mean, we're playing all of the past catch up. And so the revenues weren't coming in, so now the key is we have to stop the bleeding. However, as soon as this money comes in, and that's part of your vote, is that conditioned upon the money, as soon as it comes in, that those monies are designated to pay this back.
So the additional money, same interest rate as
Yeah,
2 million.
yeah. They just added another 800,000 to it. The problem is, Clark, at the end of last year, right, this happened at the end of last year, we were 800,000 in the hole when we started on day one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we had a line of credit from last year, all we could pay back was $1.2 million. All right? So we had to borrow on this year's credit to pay last year's credit.
I know.
So we were 800,000 in the hole on day one of this fiscal year.
So it's like a domino effect, it's
But
just.
we're headed the same direction again,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
May's gonna be the same thing,
Yes.
but something isn't done.
right, well, it sounds to me like we're gonna be back in the same hole on January 1st that we started last year with, or worse, because all of our expenses from November 15th forward are gonna have to be on the line of credit, right? Because we're gonna use the entire income to pay off the line of credit, and then immediately start building up the line of credit again.
Yeah, theoretically, you're right.
Which is the next discussion we would have on another meeting, which is expenses, depleting, cutting expenses, increasing revenue, seeing what we need to do. And that's a very serious conversation we will have to have at the next meeting.
Yeah, so for years, well, you know this, the general fund's been paying the over expenditures in the water and sewer system. Not, shouldn't say over expenditures, they spent what they said, but the revenue wasn't keeping up.
Correct,
And that goes back a long time to 2016, I think.
16.
16. Okay, so what reserve the general fund had at one time, all got used up to pay that. And now there's no more reserve.
Does anyone owe the city money, meaning all I think of is like VTEL, cell tower at the reservoir? Do we get annual payments,
Yeah, I think it's,
monthly
I wanna
payments?
say it's $1,500 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when was the, when do we get our tax sale money?
That's Jonathan to be a delinquent tax collector, I don't have
No.
any.
Yeah, they just went in and had their meeting to lay all that out, so we'll have
They
to.
set one up.
When was the tax sale, this spring or last fall? I can't remember.
It might have been last fall. I'm not
So-
aware.
Something could be coming.
Yes, but,
It's like 80.
but it's not that much.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah,
there's
it's
gonna
not
be
a-
drips and drabs, and so what we
get
need to focus on is the big money's coming in, need to go immediately towards
But
this.
we really need to do a hard in look into what's being spent and where
Mhm.
costs. I'm not blaming Jim at all.
No,
Yeah,
no, it's
no,
not a
no.
blame, it's a,
No, I don't take offense to that. The problem is basically 90%, 80% of the problem is the water and sewer not keeping up with what, and the general fund's paying the bills for them, which it's not supposed to be doing.
exactly.
It's supposed to be a standalone enterprise. So the rate's gonna have to go up again, and maybe again after that. It's, there's
Well, we
no-
said it would be like 4 times, we said.
Yeah, there's no other way, and that together what the water and sewer owe the general fund, it's a lot of money.
I'm good.
I think a big portion of the problem is that we haven't had increases for years. And now that we've inherited this problem now.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, for years we tried to get them, well, that I say previous councils to raise the water and sewer rates, and for one reason or another, they wouldn't do it. The last substantial increase of 2016, they had a small one this last bill, but that didn't come anywhere near what we need.
So,
I mean, it's not a, hate to be a bad news, but
No,
it is what it is.
right, it's not your fault, it's just, it's timing. And it's, you just have to deal with it and figure out the best way to. So, can I have a motion to increase the tax anticipation line of credit for $800,000 with the caveat that as specific monies come in, it would be used to pay back the $800,000 unless council approval is sought.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second, any comments? Further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
So just everybody's aware, Rick touched on this. Tax money come in, I pay back what I can on that, but I still got that money to operate, so we're gonna wind up, may pay it back theoretically, but in January or December or January, we're gonna have to start borrowing on it
Back
again.
in the same boat.
Understood, but that's why I put that caveat, so just let us know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you shoot me an
I'll pay
email
everything back.
and everybody, so we can just keep track of it.
Everything will go back, pay back, except what I need to operate on. Oh, we're not lying, but you,
Right.
but you
You're good.
need to operate.
You're good, right. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is Fire Department Personnel Matters, Potential Executive Session, 1 VSA Section 313A1. May I please have a motion to enter into executive session and invite our police chief and our fire department members into the session?
So,
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, and we are in executive session. We are out of executive session, no action was taken. The next item on the agenda is comments by the members of the public. Since nobody has signed up, I'm going to ask that we delete that item from this agenda. All those in favor? Anyone, I'm not doing a motion, I'm just going to say, does anybody have any concerns with that? Because you don't want to hear me read that, right? Okay, so that item is done. Next item on the agenda is new business. Council President Wishon.
Yeah, just one more reminder that tomorrow is the Fall Festival of Newport. sounds like there's gonna be some pretty good chili.
Yeah.
My son's, scouting pack is gonna be serving some chili there too, so hopefully we get some votes.
All right.
He's got the.
Plug.
That's cheap pandering as far as I'm concerned.
I'm all about that. Okay, Councilmember Curtis.
Capital for the day earlier this week was a very informative meeting. Got to meet the governor, talk to him privately for a few minutes. Thanked him and his cabinet for coming here. And the help me with the next meeting was women.
Human trafficking and crime update.
Thank you for putting that on. And aside from my truck being run into, it was very informative as well. And I got to see the, not inside of the new cruiser, but the outside of it, and we have a nice new.
We have a nice
vehicle.
one, yeah.
But I'm done.
Councilmember Upper Chase.
No new business.
Treasurer Johnson.
No.
Next item on the agenda is old business. President Fashawn.
No, thank you.
Councilmember Curtis.
No thanks.
Councilmember Upper Chase.
Yes, I have two things. One is just a report that several of us from Newport Downtown Development met with VHB this week, and we are expecting a preliminary report by mid to late October. So we'll work with the mayor to schedule when they will come and make that presentation to council that we initially intended to have happen about now, or I think a week ago, something like that. So it's in process. We're feeling positive about it. It's coming.
Okay.
That's one. And then I have one other item, which is just, I want to just double back to our earlier conversation tonight about the line of credit and ask that we have a specific item on our agenda to lay out a process, at least, to look at the questions around budgeting and how we can try and reverse this slide that we're in. So maybe at the next meeting, or the meeting after, sometime soon, I'd like to see us say this is how we're going to address this, so it doesn't just get pushed off to the budgeting process in the late part of the fall or early part of the winter.
Yeah, and I anticipate that we will not be so jammed that we should start getting that onto the agenda next round,
Thank you.
because it's going to take several.
It's going to take a lot of work, there's no doubt.
Okay. Treasurer Johnson?
No.
Okay. Okay, ready? Ready? Can I please have a motion to adjourn the special council meeting at 7:52 p.m.?
So moved.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I knew you wanted to, Chris.
What?
I have a motion in a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.